Hello, welcome to Anime, another weekly roundup of Ami figure pre-orders. This is the 23rd to the 28th of March 2026, scale figures wise. Yeah, we'll have a look. Links for the figures will be in the description down below. Apart from the adult figures, obviously, those can't be linked because otherwise YouTube will completely nuke the video. So, yeah. Azure Lane, starting off with from Apex. This is Yat Sen. 24,350 yen, November 2026, coming out in. It's a bit more of a simpler Azure Lane figure. I do like the furniture and the obviously sort of the other environmental bits furniture that she's got going on. It's definitely a bit more elegant. It depends on your personal taste if you like to have figures with extras, and whether this sort of figure can tie in with other figures in your collection or not, or they can stand alone. The only problem is like composing this figure in your collection, you kind of want to have her, maybe isolated, or with other figures obviously that are similar themed or similar aesthetic. So it is a bit more interesting, but also with there being Azure Lane, there's just a lot of girls out there obviously that they're making for, so it's very hard to keep on top of what girls you want to actually get and what ones might come out in the future or might never get a figure. So it's kind of hard to dive into these figures depending on how many if you play Azure Lane, and how many of the characters you actually want to collect figures of. Then we've got Idolmaster, shiny colours. I'm surprised they're still getting Idolmaster figures. Tanaka Osaki, 1/6 by Union Creative, 32,000 yen. January 2027. This one, I like the pose, sort of floating disc that she's on. I think there was one last week, if I remember correctly. Very similar pose as this, but with a different the design that she's sat on. I'm pretty sure I covered it last week. I can't quite remember. When you look at like every figures every day for releases, it's quite hard to remember and for them to stick in your mind. But the wing sculpting looks really good. Hair sculpting looks good. Yeah, everything looks really nice. It's a very nice figure from Idolmaster. I don't play the game, but yeah, she looks pretty good, even if you just treat her as an OC. And with her being 1/6, is definitely, I think, an improvement. I think a lot more people are falling in love with more larger, like 1/6 scales, 1/5 scales now, rather than 1/7. So we're seeing less and less 1/7 as time goes on. I think the industry is moving more towards 1/6 and quarter scales being more prominent as well. So we'll have to see how the hobby just goes in the future. Obviously, I think it's a way for them to justify price increases potentially by just saying it's a larger scale and making it a slightly larger scale than 1/7. Then they can jack up the price, maybe 20-30% from what typically 1/7 are, which are 20,000 ish. Maybe a bit on the higher end for more detailed, or a bit lower for less detailed figure. Anyways, Sentenced to be a Hero, the prison records of Penal Hero Unit, Kivia 1/7 by Kudapikia, 30,300 yen. So this is an expensive 1/7 scale coming out in September. The anime, by the way, Sentenced to be a Hero, great anime, definitely worth watching. I'm surprised we actually got Kivia as before. Well, I think we've got Kivia, and I think there's pop-up parade of the goddess as well, but I'm not sure if we're going to get. We'll have to see what other scale figures we get, to be honest, in the future. But yeah, Kotobukiya, great manufacturer. I think quality-wise, I've got no problems. Painting, clean paint lines. Yeah, it's a great looking figure. It's just, with it being 1/7, you'd expect it to be a bit more. But the cloak, I think, obviously, and how detailed they've actually done the hair on this figure, kind of potentially justifies the price increase. And maybe the IP might be warranting a bit more, or charging maybe a bit more to Kotobukiya. Unless if Kotobukiya actually holds the rights to the anime, I don't know, because Kotobukiya also has anime right. They hold a lot of anime rights as well as not just getting licenses from other animes. So I think Kotobukiya are one of the biggest as a company, has a lot of IPs under their belt. So they might even own the IP. So I don't know, but yeah, no, it's very nice looking anime, I think, at the end of the day. So especially military garb figures, it's a very nicely done military aesthetic figure at the end of the day, personally. And then we go to ReZero, Starting Life in Another World Rem, 1/7 by Good Smile Art Shanghai, 26,200 yen. This, considering with the amount of Rems we actually get, I actually quite like this figure. Like the design and the sort of long sleeve kimono, and obviously very scantily, basically nothing else. But yeah, I like the outfit, like she's wearing a swimsuit basically, standing on a bridge. Yeah, with the lily leaf, very nice looking figure. I like the colours. Paint job looks really good. And she's just very cute, very adorable. Not stupid, not overly sexualized or anything like that. But yeah, she's a great figure. Definitely a much more unique design. I think that stands out a bit more than her standard like maid outfits or sort of going out and date attires that we've seen before. Although it has been a while since I've seen a Rem figure, so they probably are running out of ideas of figures to do for Rem. So yeah, but good figure overall. And I think the price is okay. I think for the quality as well. Then we got a court scale, the first one for this week. Goddess of Victory Nikkei, Mihara Bonding Chain court scale by Fring, 49,500 yen. So a bit more on the more expensive side to the sort of court scales where they've sort of settled at 44,000 yen normally for at least the B styles. So this is obviously not a B style, and it's coming out in December 2026. But yeah, the outfit looks really good. I think, and I really like how the sort of back skirt looks like there's an oil flow. It's like a stream. It's very nicely done, and very much like BDSM kind of aesthetic. I'll be a bit worried about the chain, potentially, depending on how you have to, like, if you have to manually wrap it around the figure yourself, or whether it comes, fully assembled with the chain in, and that's something that could potentially break. But the figure looks really good. I like the design. I like the paintwork. The hair is very nicely sculpted, obviously, and a lot of individual strands are done. It's a very dark figure, with obviously how pale her skin is. It is very nice. Not something I would get because I didn't play Goddess of Victory Nikkei. If she goes down on sale after release to like 30,000 yen, then I probably would potentially get her, just because it is a very nice figure. She does look really good. And I do quite like it not being like a bunny suit figure as well. That's definitely a selling point these days, with the core scales not being in a just bunny suit. So yeah, quite good overall. Then we got Love Live, Niji Sanji, I Mayashita, 1/7 by Plum, 21,500 yen, June 2026. This one I think is just fine. I think overall I do like the colours. The oranges, the whites and blacks are very nicely done. Cute pose. Paint job is clean. There's not like tons of shading. I don't know what this is called. This like giant scarf that she's got going on is very nicely detailed and painted. I do like that a lot. It's kind of like gives off like phoenix feather tail vibes in my head at least. So yeah, she's like, yeah, very colourful, very orange. So yeah, very nice figure. I do quite like the colourway. It's just I don't know anything about Love Live Niji Sanji. So but yeah, good design I think overall, very nice. And 21,000 yen for 1/7 is about right I think overall. It's just whether Plum can actually live up to the at least the prototype photos we've got here. Playing Death Games to put food on the table, Yuki uniform version, 1/7 by Fuyu, 23,100 yen, November 2026. I do like the school outfit and the shading that they've got going on there. But apart from that, it is a very simple figure. The hair is quite nice and the school outfit colouring is nice. But apart from that, the figure is very simple. Very simple weapon and knife that she's got going on. Yeah, it's maybe a bit on the pricier side for 1/7. I'd expect her to be maybe 21,000, not 23,000 yen personally. But yeah, overall not too bad. I've not seen the anime, so you have to let me know how good it is. Little Succubus Chili-chan, 1/6 by Animeatster, 10,450 yen. October 2026. So Animeaster slowly racking up the price for their 1/6, unfortunately. So we'll have to see if the design is actually worth the price increase from past Animeaster 1/6. She does look quite nice. I do like the sort of succubus school girl or school outfit, undressing herself theme going on. Whether that's cast off, I don't know. It looks like it potentially could be force cast off. I think some of the past ones you've been able to force cast off as well. But yeah, the stockings are really nice. I like the color aesthetic. The fact that you see the toes as well through the tights, or well, the toes poking out. She's obviously cut the tights. Overall, actually a very nice design, very sexy looking figure. Whether it justifies the slight price increase, you have to compare it to the past ones. I think there's a bit more attention to detail, bit better paint job, especially with the jacket as well. The purple sort of dark purple to browns that they've got shaded here is a lot better. So I think the price increase probably is worth it, since the paint job looks just generally a step up from their past releases from about 2 years ago. Then we've got Diabolus Core Midnight Quin Lian Tian 1/6 by Howling Star, 12,540 yen, coming out in December. Okay, sitting in an office chair. Do you like the outfit? Her ice cream is getting everywhere. Fair enough. I guess that's what Diabolus Core is on about. Yeah, very nice looking figure. The fact that you have the option of having some sort of like ID card down there, or the runoff from the ice cream down there. Definitely extremely sexy. Some hair, shoes, and looks like she's got some, I guess, toy butt plug maybe in her feet at the end there. Yeah, interesting design. I do quite like it. I would expect that to be magnetic, but yeah, 12. I think overall, for the price, is definitely worth it. The fact that you get the office chair as well, and some, the shoes as an extra as well. So I think very interesting figure. I don't play Diabolus Core, but I've heard it's very, very explicit. Not fully, explicit, but definitely a lot more explicit than a lot of other, very lewd, should I say. Then we go to another freeing figure, Shinobi Master Senran Kagura. Bondage made for court scale by freeing, 39,600 yen, September 2026. I do like this maid outfit, court scale B style that we've been getting. Well, it's not B style, but I've not watched Senran Kagura, but I've heard good things about it. Obviously, that I think there's an uncensored showing of it. But yeah, very lewd, etchy figure. Like the outfit design, sort of bikini maid going on, and I like the green hair as well. Sucker for green hairs. I do prefer this one over the past one from last week, I think. So yeah, people are kind of, I think, thinking if it's going to be cast off. But I think with the fact that obviously the bikini top squishes into her opie, it's not cast off, unfortunately. Although past Senran Kagura figures, or Shinobi Master, should I say, figures have been cast off, other past freeing ones. So we'll have to wait and see, I think, when this gets released. There's no mention of it in the description of being cast off, though, but it is a nice figure. I think overall not too bad. Then we've got Azure Lane Bismarck, Unpacked Surprise version 7th by Good Smile Art Shanghai, 28,600 yen. And March 2027, so a year. This one is a very nice figure. I do like the outfit she's in, and the very massive cardigan that she's in as well. It's sort of very Christmassy vibes. Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah, and I like the hair shape, the hair all over the place in the back. You're not going to see it, it's the only downside, but they've put a lot of effort obviously into the hair. So again, like the proportions, like the body sculpting, paint job looks really good. Love the outfit, obviously. Looks like, I think if she was my girlfriend, yeah, I don't think I'd be letting her out my sight at Christmas. Yeah, very nice looking figure. And then this one's a bit less, I think, overall. Hane Kami Kanojo, Bunny Girl version 1/6 by Hanabi. 18,610 yen, November 2026. I do like the bunny suit design, but I don't quite like. Well, I guess the stockings are shaded and painted very nicely, and I do like the hair shading. So there's a lot of highlights going on there, and the the settee that she's on is very like the leather settee, very nicely painted and shaded as well. So overall, it's a very nice figure. It's just not. I don't think it'll be a bunny figure I would get personally. I don't know why. I think there's just something about it I don't particularly like. But overall, it is a very nice bunny suit figure. I just prefer by quarter scale bunny suits. That's just me personally. But yeah, very nice looking figure. Apart from that, but if you're into bunny suits, she might be worth getting a hold of because she is very nicely painted. Bang Dream Tamori Takamitsu Zero Gravity version 1/7 by Good Smile Art Shanghai, 21,000 yen. June 2027. She looks fine. Paint job looks okay. I don't mind the platform that they're using as a base to hold her up. Yeah, I think it's kind of like your magical girl aesthetic. She looks fine, just not my personal taste. But the attention to detail looks really nice. I don't really have any problems with this figure. Nothing glaring. I guess you just have to hope that the support rod, obviously, that goes into behind the skirt, actually fits and lines up properly. That'll be the only thing I think some people are worried about is misfitting if the sizing's just off. Like if the figure's slightly different temperature, then the hole diameters might not match up and it'll make it a bit of a pain in the ass to put her onto the support strut without potentially breaking something and lining it up. You might scuff obviously like these parts of the ribbons or this parts of the outfit that come off. So that's the only thing I would say I'm worried about. And I guess this floating chain thing as well is going to be quite delicate and potentially will break. So you'll probably want to be careful assembling this figure. And same with this one, the other girl as well, 21,000 yen. Again, I think this one might be a bit easier since her skirt kind of follows her legs. So the support rod's obviously just going to be in the buttocks for this. So I think you're less likely to break something. The hair strands might be the only other thing that you have to be worried about when assembling. If you don't hold it right, you might put your thumb or finger onto the hair strands and then push too hard and then snap some of her hair strands, which I have not done before. Fingers crossed. No, I have done it before. I've broken a figure before, a hair strand before, trying to force a figure into its support rod. Umumusme, Pretty Derby, Gran Algeria, 1/7 by Fat Company, 26,680 yen, March 2027. Really like the outfit. Blacks, reds, and golds. Very nicely done. Looks clean. Maybe different hand options. Okay, so we get some different hand options and faceplate. I think for 26,000 yen, yeah, interesting. Yeah, they didn't mention. I wish they would mention like faceplates and stuff in the description more so when it is pictured that they obviously have and a different faceplate and some different hand options. It's really annoying because you can't just scroll down and check, so you don't know if you're actually going to get that when you do get her in hand. So it is kind of off-putting, unfortunately. Azure Lane, New Jersey, IRF 2024, 1/7 by Furyu, 29,700 yen, December 2026. Is she worth 30,000 yen for a 1/7? Racing is like a racing queen figure. Do like the fact that the flag has the support strut. Obviously, is going to be very annoying for display purposes. I do like the outfit. I do like her. I do like the hair. Semi-translucent blue is interesting. Look, I do quite like it. It's fine for me personally. I just don't think I'd pay 30,000 yen for something where you can quite easily break the flag, or the flag can droop over time if you don't want to run the support rod at all, the support strut in the back. So it might be a bit finicky. And the hair you could potentially break as well, depending on how she's disassembled and then assembled. So isn't it nice figure? Definitely a nice looking figure. It's just you have to be a bit wary of potentially if you want figures with flags, whether they're going to break or not. Especially if you clean her semi frequently, and you don't put her in like a in a glass cabinet, which will at least reduce the dust build-up. That'll be the only thing I'll be worried about. Now into Arknights Surtur, Liberté or Echec version, 1/7 by Good Smart Shanghai, 21,200 yen, October 2026. This is a re-release. They don't mention it, I don't think, anywhere from what I'm aware of, but I saw this and I was like, I'm pretty sure I covered this a year or so ago, and I was right. She did sell and was released back in 2014. Was it? Sorry, 2024 in October of 2024. So a year and a half ago, she was released. So I thought so. So it's just a re-release of her. I just thought I'd mention it since I think she obviously sold quite well. And I don't even think there was any pre-owned ones on Ami pre-owned section, anyways, of Surtur. So yeah, I think a lot of people like this figure. Obviously, she's definitely a much more unique and Arknights figure style with the barrier and the paint. Is definitely unique, but attention-grabbing design. So I think a lot of people do like this one. So I think there'll be a lot of people who are happy to have another shot at getting her as well. And then we go to Taro Project Rumia, illustration by Uzun, 1/7 by Furyu, 20,900 yen, November 2026. So this one's a bit unlike the other Taro projects, which are like 33,000 yen by Alta, which are like immaculate paint job, sculpting. They're more expensive, but they kind of justify it with how flamboyant they are and just how extravagant the figures are. This is definitely a bit more on the budget, a bit more simpler. She's just in a simple outfit, very nicely sculpted and painted though, with just a little bit of flair with this obviously oil sort of flow of oil stream kind of tendril going on underneath. So yeah, very nice looking figure, I think, and hopefully they expand the lineup. Furyu do with the other girls from Taro Project. So then if you missed out on the Alta one, then you couldn't stomach the 33,000 yen. Especially considering that's over the import fees, and you have to pay VAT on top of it for the Europe and here in the UK. So for those ones, because they're 33,000 yen, they're over the £135 here in the UK at least. So I was like, don't really want to spend that kind of money, and because I don't have a personal attachment to the IP. So if you luckily you potentially still get nice figures. And if they do the rest of the lineup of the girls in the future, then you can at least save yourself a bit of money, but still represent them in your collection. Then we got Midside Kind Meter, 1/7 by Raw Studio, 11,880 yen, July 2026. I do like the outfit. There's not tons of shading, although it might just be the sort of the off reddish colorway I think that they've got going on here actually, which just I think to me doesn't makes it like she's not detailed very well. When you look at the stockings, there is definitely sculpting and painting and shading there. It's a bit more shiny, I guess. So whereas you wouldn't expect this outfit, they'll be like wool socks, so you wouldn't expect it to be shiny personally. So I think that's throwing me off. If I could ignore that, the figure looks really nice. I do like the colorway, the design. I like the facial expression as well. The fact that you get two face plates as well, the scary face plate and then the sort of smiling face plate without the daggers if you don't want to have the daggers. Yeah, it's a very cute figure. Obviously, she's got nice big hips, like nice long legs. Not big in the chest area, but it's fine. It's just a very cute figure with a bit of derangement, and I do like the base as well, so this digitized thing going on. But they also have this crazy meter, 1/7 for 34,650 yen, July 2026. So this is at 31 centimeters in height with the base, and it's got glass made of zinc glass as well. So there's a lot more to this one compared to this one, which is got magnet and just PU and PVCs. It's all plastics. So there's 3 times the price, but obviously the figures the same outfit with a lot more elaborate design, obviously with the like power cables and screens going on about, and considering it mentions glass, this is probably legit glass, so I'd be worried about actually shipping this. Unfortunately, you pay all that money and for a glass item to break because it gets dropped or whatnot. So hopefully they do the packaging really well for it. I think that's the only thing. Now that I've seen that there's glass mentioned here, I'll be a bit worried of getting this in. And maybe it lights up. Doesn't mention anywhere here, but it looks like in some of the photos you can see the green tint and then off the screen, and then here it's like really dark. That could just be the angle as well at the photo. But I do like the pose, like the sculpting, chainsaw. There's not a lot of detailing on the chainsaw, obviously. They kind of skimped out a bit in terms of, and didn't do a lot of like weathering or paint work on the body of the chainsaw. But apart from that, it is a nice figure. I just don't think it's 35,000 yen worth. And then we go to the adult figures now. So we've got a Binding Creator's Opinion Blossom Bunny Court Scale by Binding, 39,600 yen, September 2026. So a couple of weeks ago we covered another girl from Binding as well. I think it's 2 weeks ago in like a black bunny suit. Similar aesthetic, which I think you will see here. Here we go, which I'd liked as well. I think they're different characters, but yeah, like this is obviously the artwork. But yeah, very nice figure. I love Binding figures. I do like the sculpt work. Paint job looks really good. And this is a fully cast off figure, so you've got a semi-translucent bunny suit as well, so you can obviously see, which is a bit more unique because it's a lot harder for them to do a semi-translucent bunny suit, which is then removable, which it is, so you can get fully cast off. So there's no bunny suit at all. Whereas a lot of other Binding ones, it's the chest area covers get removed, and then the groin area there's a cover that can get removed as well. So this is a fully bunny. The full suit can be removed, which I think quite like, and I do like the color aesthetic. Yeah, I think I probably won't buy this. I'll probably bookmark it and then wait till after release, because I've seen quite a few Binding figures now go on sale now and get a bit of a discount after release, so you could probably hold off and save yourself a bit of money with these Binding Creators lineup. And then we've got this Mika Izo Piggy Bounce version 1/6 by Eclipse Feather, 26,120 yen, February 2027. Yep, very much on the Luda scale, riding a pig. Yeah, fair enough. Definitely unique, interesting to have on to have in your collection. Yeah, I do quite interesting. I do quite like it. I don't know what accessories we get with this one. I think it's just as is. Okay, so different hand option, and I don't think that's. I think that's it. So it's just basically fully cast off as well. But they do a deluxe version which just comes with a wall scroll for an extra like 2,000 yen. I wouldn't even bother with that. I'll just save the money and get the normal one. There's no point in getting the wall scroll personally. And then they do this where you get the Piggy Bounce and Midnight Groove version 1/6. So it's 2 figures for 36,570 yen. So you get her in sort of standing in a normal, unsupervised, unexplicit version. So you still get the piggy version, and then you also get this version with the different hand options. And then they do a deluxe version as well, which comes with the wall scroll, which again, up to you if you want the wall scroll. I think the wall scroll is the same for both. So I would just, depending if you want 2 figures or not, you've got that as your option. Spend a bit more money, like was it 10,000 yen more? Yeah, so 10,000 yen more, and you get a second figure as well, 1/6 of her not so lewd. And then we've got this Just Soldier Blue Mizuhara Ayumi 1/6 by Pure, 31,480 yen, coming out in May 2027. It's over a year. I do sort of this flotation seashell that she sat on in this very lewd, obviously, sort of swimsuit that she's got going on with the leaking effects. Very large eyes and very sort of standard detailed, I would say, nipples. Yeah, interesting design, and you get some covers, you know, sort of bikini covers, so that's removable. They're probably magnetic. Yeah, interesting design. I think considering she's obviously playing with herself and being a bit more explicit. Yeah, doesn't mention what parts. Water splash part. So if you want the water effect as well. But yeah, no additional hand options, unfortunately, or whatnot. So it's just cast off. So pretty simple. It's whether you like the design or not. I do quite like the design. You know, extremely lewd figure. A bit on the shinier side. Chest might be a bit on the larger side, considering her head looks very tiny compared to, you know, her chest size, and the size of her hips as well, and the arse. So that might be then like small feet and small head syndrome going on here. Unfortunately, I think it's the only thing that kind of takes it away from me. So I probably would get this after release, when she sort of potentially will probably go on sale, most likely. Yeah, that's about it. But apart from that, that's it of this week of AmiAmi Figure Pre-Orders. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I shall catch you in the next week's video. Thank you very much. Bye.